Well, Frontier Airlines now reversing its decision to charge passengers a fee to sit next to an empty middle seat. Phil LeBeau is with us tonight, back with the CEO of that company, Barry Biffle. Good evening, guys.
Hey, Scott, good evening. Let's bring in Barry. He joins us from Denver, which is the home city for Frontier Airlines. Barry, when we talked to you, I think it was Monday night, you explained that you were going to have a new program where people could pay $39 to guarantee that the middle seat would be empty, the one that would be next to them. And now you've reversed that plan. What was the reason for the change?
Well, thanks again for having us on. And I just want to remind you, we talked the other day, but from the beginning, Frontier has been focused on ensuring that our employees and our passengers are safe. And so we started the fogging and disinfecting procedures well over a month ago. We were one of the first airlines to require all employees to wear face masks. We started out about a month ago having the health acknowledgement of our passengers. And now this week we're instituting facial coverings for all passengers. And tonight we just announced that we are going to be the first airline to announce that we're going to have temperature checks for passengers. But we did want to offer more options. And we offered the more room option. There was some pushback. Customers loved it, by the way, but there was some pushback. So listen, we just rolled back the prices from that. We're still blocking those seats. We'll still honor it for those that sold it. And you can still buy it now. But we reversed back the fee, given there was some challenges with it. And in fact, we've expanded the number of seats from 18 to 40. So.
And we'll talk about that pushback, Barry, because I know it came from some members on Capitol Hill in Congress who were saying, look, you guys are profiting off of fear, so to speak. Let's talk about this change when it comes to passengers and the fact that you will now be temperature checking them. In other words, screening their temperatures before they board. How is this system going to work? When does it take effect? And are you worried about any pushback from passengers?
So look, we are going to implement that. We announced it today. We're implementing it effective June 1st. We're very data driven. We think it's the right science, and customers are telling us in survey data that's what they want to see. We think the right answer is to do it at the curb or before people enter the airport. And I know the TSA and the various airport organizations are working on putting together a program, but we felt it was so important. We need to get out there and do this now, and we may change if and when they put theirs in place. But what will happen on June 1st is when you go to board the aircraft, when you walk up to give your phone or your boarding pass, we'll be checking your temperature with a infrared thermometer like you've seen, I'm sure, in Asia and other places. And so if you pop over 100.4, we're going to pull you to the side. We'll wait 10 minutes. And if you continue to have a fever, we're going to see if you can get some care, but you don't need to be on board our aircraft at that point.
Barry, between the temperature checks and the fact that not only airlines are requiring masks when people are on board, but increasingly all the airports around the country are moving in that direction, are you worried that there's going to be an element of hassle, that people will sit there and say, come on, I got to spend 3 hours going through the airport, getting on a plane, getting off the plane with a face mask on, worried about my temperature, worried about who else might be sick there. At some point, is the hassle factor here potentially scaring people away from taking a trip?
Well, I think after 9/11, I think that was probably one of the best examples in history where we instituted the TSA, lines got formed and so forth. But this is a very fast procedure, Phil. This can be done literally in seconds. You literally just pull a trigger and it tests the temperature. So I think given the peace of mind that people will have knowing that they're safe, that everyone else on board, I mean, wouldn't you like to walk in a room and know that everybody else doesn't have a fever? So I think that's what we got to do to keep people safe.
Mr. Biffle, it's Scott Wapner. I do appreciate you being back with us. You said a few moments ago when Phil was asking you about the rollback of making the folks pay for an empty middle seat, you said, quote, customers love that. I'm trying to figure out which customers would love having to pay more for their safety. I mean, that was the criticism, that you were putting a price on people's health. And I'm wondering whether tonight you regret that decision from the start.
Well, look, we listened to customers, and what they wanted is a guarantee of that. And a lot of airlines are saying they're making best efforts and so forth. And we wanted to be able to offer a guarantee. And there's weight and balance considerations and all kinds of things. But I think what's most important, Scott, is there's a lot of confusion about Frontier. Our average fare is literally $50 over the last year. compared to $200 with many of the big carriers. Our seat assignment fees are very, very inexpensive. Our total price would still be under $100 in that example. But look, we can talk about could have, would have, should have, but we have rolled it back. But the opportunity is still there. So Scott, you can book a ticket on Frontier and fly with the blocked middle seat. It's still available. Just we rolled back the incremental price.
You're always a salesman. Barry Biffle, appreciate it. Phil LeBeau, of course, I appreciate you bringing this interview to us this evening.